The phrase that people use and overuse and reuse is
Welcome to Boing Boing TV. I'm Xeni Jardin, and today we're going to speak with two guests who are in Dharamsala, India. Lhadon Tethong, who is the Executive Director of Students for a Free Tibet, and Tenzin Dorjee, known as Tendor for short. He is the Deputy Director of Students for a Free Tibet. This week, in Dharamsala, India, that's the home of the Tibetan Government In Exile, a historic series of talks are happening. 6 days of talks. It's the largest meeting of its kind since 1991, where Tibetans are gathering to talk about the future of the movement for independence, the movement for autonomy, and the Tibetan people's future in relation with China. Whether Tibet will ever be recognized as an autonomous entity, whether there will be self-government. Tendor and Lhadon, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So there's a 6-day meeting of Tibetan exiles that began Monday of this week in Dharamsala. It's the first time that this kind of meeting has happened since 1991. What's taking place there?
Essentially, the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, called this meeting because he is looking for new solutions and he wants the opinions of Tibetan leaders from around the world and from the public. He's calling for Tibet as a part of China, what he calls genuine autonomy, for Tibetans to have the right to govern themselves, but within the framework of the People's Republic of China.
So just earlier this week, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Qin Gang said that any attempt to separate Tibet from China is doomed to fail. Doomed to fail. Those were the words that were used. What kind of new ideas are you hearing there at this historic meeting?
As far as creating real tension and working to make the occupation of Tibet costly for China, which is really what it's all about, our movement isn't actually doing as much as we think. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to, it's interesting. Tibetans are just people. We're just this population of normal people who are thrown into these extraordinary circumstances. We need to bring the understanding of general Tibetan populations, knowledge of strategy, nonviolent strategy and organizing, and the principles that have been used, for many, many years now and very successfully. We need to bring those to our community.
Given that great sense of reverence for the Dalai Lama, it almost seems that his stepping away from the talks, the lack of his physical presence there, might also suggest a sort of wanting to foster an environment where people can talk about the future beyond his life.
The disconnect here, the kind of irony is that many of the older Tibetans are still very much, attached to their old sort of tradition and old faith, and they are still not able to sort of grasp, many of them are still not able to understand that, having a political viewpoint or new idea that may seem different from his opinion or his past opinion is actually okay, and you can have that opinion and still have the same depth of faith in His Holiness. And we actually believe it's totally possible to, to worship His Holiness, have complete devotion to him, and at the same time have political views that are our own. This is something the Chinese government doesn't have. This is something the Chinese people have never been able to do, Mm-hmm. And in this alone, this step alone, we have, achieved something very, very significant.
It's just been a couple of weeks since America elected a new president, Barack Obama. I wonder if you're seeing some ripples of that.
It's amazing the impact that it's had. I mean, on us, on everybody coming here, the number of times Obama's name has been invoked, or what he did, or how the seeming impossibility just a month or two or a year or so ago. And this is the same for us for independence. It's something we all hope is possible, but many of our people have serious doubts and believe that we can't do it.
The phrase that people use and overuse and reuse is, when a black man can take the White House in the most powerful nation in the world and hold the most powerful office, anything is possible. I also want to thank you, Xeni, for doing this interview and following the issue, because I think through these forums, it gives people a much better understanding of the reality of Tibet that goes beyond, the bumper stickers.
The Hollywood image that people have of us.
The internet image is a little clearer than the Hollywood image, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lhadon and Tendor, thank you very much. I hope that you'll keep in touch with us as you remain there through the end of this week of talks there in Dharamsala, India, and we will look forward to hearing what happens. And I wish you and the people that you are with there the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.